everyone and welcome back. Today's video is all about how to get into university because I just got offered my place. So I'm basically going to outline the steps to applying, and this is mainly focused on the UK system because that's what I've just gone through, but the tips also help if you're applying elsewhere in the world. And of course, if you want any more details on any steps of this, because I'm just going to do it briefly, otherwise this video will be so long, definitely let me know in the comment section below. The very first thing you want to do is to do some research, because I had no idea when I started out like what course I wanted to do, what university I wanted to go to. There's just so many and I kind of had a bit of a crisis because you don't know where to start. So just start with some research and just look into the kind of courses you might be interested in. So they might be ones that you're already studying at A-level, or they might be ones that are linked or just stuff that you're interested in that are completely different. But look at people that are already doing it. Maybe online you can see people's blogs that are university students, or speak to people maybe that are ex-students at your school or friends that you know of. And just get a feel for what things are out there and the kind of things that you might be interested in, just so you have a bit of more of an idea of where you want to start. The thing you want to do is to try and narrow down your search a bit. So maybe you want to focus on the actual subject or a couple of subjects that you might be interested in studying, and maybe the kinds of places that you want to study at. So the way I did this is that I worked out where I wanted to go, like in the UK. I knew I don't want to go too far from home, I don't want to be too close, you know, you want to feel like you've actually left home. And the other thing you can do is to check out league tables. I'll link in the description bar a couple that I used. Now you don't want to read too much into league tables, and it's definitely good to kind of cross-reference them, but because there's so many universities out there, it might be a good idea just to kind of, you know, limit maybe the top 20 ones that are for your subject. That's just a way you could do it. Another thing you want to do is to look at the actual content of the course, because I know people go to university to have a good time and party and stuff, but you're actually paying a lot of money for the course, so you definitely want to go on a course that you're going to enjoy and like. So I've applied to do English, so I looked at the kind of modules that were offered, what I might find interesting. The other thing you can do is to book open days, which basically allow you to go and see the university. Maybe you can like have a sample lecture, look around the accommodation, look around the kind of halls of residence, you know, where you might be staying, and just get a real feel for the place. And I definitely recommend booking early, because there was a couple that I wanted to and I had to go to a later date than I wanted to check it out because they were all fully booked. So definitely get in there early and put it on your calendar when the booking opens, because otherwise you might miss out. The other thing you want to consider is the grades that you require to get into that university and course. So your teachers are going to give you some predicted grades, so you want to work around those and try and find some universities that are your predicted grades and maybe some that are slightly lower. The next step is actually applying on UCAS, and UCAS is like the central website that sorts out all the universities. So they let you choose up to 5 courses, and you need to put in all of your courses, your like grades at GCSE, or your contact details, that kind of stuff, and your teachers write a reference. Now the other thing you need to do whilst all this crazy stuff is happening and you're looking at open days and working hard on your A-levels and everything, you need to write this thing called a personal statement. Now you might have heard rumours about a personal statement, and it's probably true because it's quite a horrific thing to write. Basically, the personal statement is this bizarre concept I find that basically gets sent to the university you apply to, and they read, and they're supposed to, I guess, find out about you as a person, but also academically. So when I first thought about it, because it's called a personal statement, I thought it was more about me as a person, but basically as a rule of thumb I would say that 2/3 to 3/4 of your personal statement needs to be academic, and then only a small proportion to be like your extracurricular activities, and even then your extracurricular activities have to be linked back to the academic stuff. So for instance, I said that I ran so it's quite a weird thing to write. I would definitely recommend reading some online, but don't copy them because that won't get you into university. Basically just get a feel for what they sound like, the kind of style or structure that you want to follow throughout your personal statement. And then if yours sounds kind of pretentious when you read it out, it's probably along the right lines. That's what I would say on that subject. Okay, the next step is this thing called student finance, because basically university costs a lot of money and students like me can't afford to pay all that money up front. So in England the government will pay your tuition fees, which are £9,000 a year, but that's a loan. You have to pay it back when you start earning money after, but you don't have to worry about it yet. The other thing is your living costs, so you get a thing called a maintenance grant. Now this depends on how much your parents earn and all kinds of complicated things that you have to fill out, but basically you can get around £3,500 a year in terms of living costs, but again you're going to have to pay that back. But the other thing I definitely check out is some scholarships, bursaries and grants that you might be eligible for. So if you're into sports, you might be able to get a scholarship for sports, or if you're from a household which is lower income earning, you can definitely get grants, which is basically free money. So definitely research all of that and check it out and see if you can get any of that stuff. Whilst all of this stuff is happening and you've sent off your UCAS application, the universities are receiving your application, reading it through and seeing if they want to give you an offer. Now some universities may call you back for an interview, so that's another stressful thing altogether that you might have to do, or they might just give you a straight offer. Alternatively, they could give you a rejection, but let's not hope for that. Let's going to say they're going to give you an offer. Now eventually all the universities will have replied to you, and they'll have to reply to you by a certain date, and then after that date you have to reply to them. So let's say you were lucky and you got all 5 offers, you then have to choose one as your firm and one as your insurance. Now a firm offer is the one that you definitely want to go to, providing everything goes right, that's the one you want to go to. So typically that will have higher grade requirements, so for mine that was A star AA that I needed to get in my A-levels. And then your insurance one is the one that's like your backup plan. So say you didn't get the grades for your insurance, for your firm even, you can go to your insurance. So my insurance was AAB. So if I got 3 A's, I'd go to my insurance. If I got an AA and a B, I'd go to my insurance. But basically that's the way you do it, and you reject your other 3 ones. So you go into the position of power then and you get to reject the other universities. So by this point you should now have made a firm of one of your offers and an insurance of one of your offers. And you think all the hard work is done, but you still have to do all your A-levels. So you have to do lots of revision and work hard for your A-levels so you can try and get your results. Alright, then we need to fast forward a few months to after all of the exams, after your lovely long summer holiday of doing lots of fun stuff with your friends, and it comes to results day. Now UCAS normally works online, so on the morning of results day you can log in and check to see if you got a place at your university, and hopefully you did, and if you did then congratulations. But if you didn't get the grades you needed for your firm offer, they may still give you an offer. If you just missed it, they'll check at the like how close you were to the grade boundary, so you still might get an offer, or your school might have rung up and tried to make a case for you. If not, you may have made your insurance offer, in which case you should be happy with that one. Make sure when you're applying that you are actually happy to still go to your insurance offer. If you you know, don't have your heart completely set on your firm one, make sure you're still happy with your insurance and just put some random university down, because you could end up going there. Now if your exams really didn't go to plan and you missed your insurance offer as well, then don't panic, because there's this thing called clearing which you can go through, and basically all the universities that have spare places on their courses will open them up and you can directly call them and say what your grades were, and they will probably give you an offer, or they'll, you know, decline you, but you can bring up just another one. So that's another option. So to clarify very quickly, step 1 is research, step 2 is choosing your university and course, step 3 is actually directly applying to UCAS and writing your personal statement, step 4 is checking out all your student finance details, step 5 is lots of waiting around for your university, step 6 is choosing your firm and insurance offer, step 7 is working really hard, and step 8 is results day, step 9 is getting into your university, and step 10 is going to university. Woohoo! So I know this seems like quite a complicated process, and it kind of is, but when it's spread out over a year it's not so bad, and hopefully you can get through it like I did. I got to the other side. So if you want to know any information on any of these other areas, then definitely let me know. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye! Hi everyone, and welcome to Product Wars, a brand new series that I'm starting where I'm going to be comparing